So today we'll start with the verse 59 where he accepts the possibility of the existence of the soul, showing that he is convinced by the Guru's answer and declares that I do accept its possibility. Clear? The disciple, eager to gain knowledge, put forth arguments regarding the existence of soul, which the Guru resolved with counter arguments backed by logic and evidences. So, examples. By deeply contemplating upon the solution received from the Guru, the disciple is convinced about its correctness. He declares,
आत्मानास्तित्वना आपे कया प्रकार संभवतेनोत्थाय छे अंतर करे विचार।
आत्मा न अस्तित्व न, आत्मा soul, astitva, existence. So regarding the existence of soul, atmana astitvana, ape kaya prakar. See the language. It's a dialogue. So English does not have anything, for anyone you will use you only. You and me. Gujarati has a lot of respect. Tu, tame, aap. Guru Mate ko to tame na bola hai. And if you are a Parsi, the Parsis have only two. So if they talk with their grandfather, tu અહીંયા કેમ છે? તમને કહો તોછડું લાગે, પણ Parsis, even Dr. ઉદવાડિયા કે શું, આપણા બ્રિજ કેન્ડીમાં કોણ હતા? હા, so two. So first time, I heard someone telling me two. And I liked it, actually. I liked it. And then he goes to the next patient next to me, and he was must be 80, 85, and he must have come again to the hospital. तो कि बाबा तू जल्दी पाछो આવી ગયો? मैं तो अरे मने तू के तो चाले पर बेचारा काका ने तो दादा ने तो तू. Then I realized Parsis have the habit of saying two only. And English માં તો you છે. You talk to God also you. You talk to your grandchild also you. So શું કરવું હું ટ્રાન્સલેશનમાં તો યુ અહીંયા આપે તમે નથી કીધું, તમે નથી કીધું, તે નથી કીધું. He is not his friend. The Guru is not his friend. તે આમ કેમ કીધું? તમે બી નથી કીધું, આપ. So, ape kaya prakar, the logic and the examples and the evidences as explained by you. Ape kaya prakar, the way you showed everything, all the points, all the proofs in favor of the existence of the soul. So, atmana astitvana ape kaya prakar, whatever you explained regarding the existence of the soul. Atmana astitvana ape kaya prakar. સંભવ તેનો થાય છે. Seems possible, huh? Is acceptable. અંતર, internally, કરીએ વિચાર on contemplating or reflecting within, internally, અંતરમાં, it seems possible. So, short me. By internally contemplating over the clarification given by you regarding the existence of the soul, it seems possible. So he declares that he has been clearly convinced by it and the existence of the soul is acceptable to him. So first he's declaring that he's convinced. It's not that, chalo, agal chalo, I'm not convinced, but now let's go ahead. No, not that way. I'm convinced. So now I'm starting my second doubt. I'm convinced. So, at first glance, the disciple, with his purview of senses and purview of logic, at the first glance, he could not accept the existence of the soul, mainly because he could not see it. And second, no other evidences which can be perceived by senses and all. I'm not repeating everything, but at the first glance, he said, let's see how the Guru will prove the existence of the soul. Because at the first glance, he could not acknowledge the existence of the soul. But after listening to the Guru, his explanation, his clarifications, and reflecting upon it, deeply contemplating over it, he is convinced, and that too beyond doubt. Because he is not saying there are some doubts left, but now let's go ahead because we don't have time. He didn't say that. So, beyond doubt, he is convinced there is possibility of the soul. So, he declares that I am convinced regarding the difference between the external manifestation of I, that is the body, and the entity that animates it, the soul. I am convinced of the difference between the external manifestation, the body, and the internal entity which animates it. The only thing is, one is visible, perceptible to senses, steeped in material matter. Proper ખબર પડે deficiency of vitamin છે, protein deficiency, બધું આમ clearly સમજાય એવું. And the other is invisible, beyond the senses, completely spiritual. Is convinced. So just imagine, હજી થોડા time પહેલા it was the Shishya himself, માટે છે નહીં આત્મા. Therefore I feel the soul does not exist. And he expresses his doubt, his arguments, requests the Guru to answer it, and he receives an explanation, say clarification. So the explanation was given by means of different quotes of the scriptures. Riya, no quoting of the scriptures was there. Logic. No, he didn't give any agam praman. In this shastra or in this book, no. Purely by means of logic, senses, so it's not possible only. So by logic and examples, which made it so simple to understand. And one more thing, interesting also. Death આવ્યું, પછી ઇલેક્ટ્રિકલ ગેજેટ્સ આવ્યું, પછી પેલી વિન્ડો આવી, પછી પેલું પરમ બુદ્ધિ કૃષ દેહમાં આવ્યું, પછી જે મશીને મ્યાન આવ્યું. And so it made it interesting also and simple to understand. Whatever was not simple was spoken by me and not the Atma Siddhi Shastra. Because see, Atma Siddhi Shastra has made it so simple to understand and even interesting. Now, such a philosophical topic, and to explain something so abstract as and so invisible as the soul, and to make it simple to understand and interesting to continue. We are all here to continue ahead, So that is the what ability? Awesome ability. હું બી દરરોજ રિવાઇઝ કરું, A B B C C D D E E F F G G H H I I J J, because એ મહિમા તો એ જ સેટ કરવાનું છે ને. So what happened? He contemplated deeply, the disciple, which shows, the traits of a true disciple also. He contemplated over it. He did not say, "Okay, now let's continue with the next pad." He didn't want to hear something new and different on the next day. He said, "I want some time. I want 10 more days to make my notes." Not only notes, to think deeply. What other questions can arise? Not what my friends will ask me and how will I answer them. Not only that, am I convinced? Whether you can convince others or not is another thing. But are you convinced? That's important. So he needed time to contemplate, and he deeply contemplated. મને લાગે અહીંયા બી બધા જુદા જુદા યજ્ઞ થયા હશે. And he found the way the Guru explains so beautiful, and the logic so made the whole thing so convincing and conclusive. He could arrive to a conclusion. He was not only happy with the clarification, he was not only getting convinced, but he could reach a conclusion. That's very important. Sometimes the Guru shows us the path from different angles, and when we go away from it, we are more confused because we don't contemplate. Why did he say this? What did he mean? What was the purpose of saying this? The reason behind this? We don't contemplate, so we feel confused. If we contemplate over it, we feel, oh yes, actually explain કે જ્યારે જ્યારે તને તકલીફ પડે ત્યારે આ યાદ કરજે. He has given you everything. You don't need to go to him second time. But lack of contemplation. But here he has. Antar karye vichar. That is the meaning of contemplation over here. Antar karye vichar. Not only talked and discussed with others. I pondered over it. I thought over it. I reflected. I contemplated. Deeply, that too. And on contemplating deeply, I realized the incorrectness of my thinking and my reasoning. How I never thought of the knowing attribute not present in the dead body, present in a living body. What does it mean? What does it imply? What does it... So the incorrectness in my thinking, reasoning and conclusions, what I had concluded up till now, he realizes. And a right direction and right conviction has arisen in him. Ugyo, pragatyo. Okay, this is the way I should have been thinking. Whether I yet believe in the existence of soul is different, but I should be thinking about the knowing attribute, the phenomenon of death. I need to understand it better. So he does. And after that, in this verse, verse 59, he declares. He is convinced and he is ready to... It's not like accepting defeat and all. It is never a war. When a Guru and Shishya, if the Guru wins, it's not that he won the war and I lost. Usually when you have ego, you want to first defend. If at all you accept the mistake also, the first is, આ છે ને અમે આમ વિચાર્યું હતું ને એટલે આમ લખાયું, આમ કર્યું. This is defending. Why do you want to explain why this mistake was made, committed? But somewhere, how much ever we can, paryaye, paltaye, modification undergoes change. It's wrong, because modification means what changes. So if you write modification undergoes change, it's wrong. But you want to defend yourself. This is because we translated paryaye, paltaye. But I don't know Gujarati. I am reading English and it's not making sense to me. It's not making, because modification, which means modify, change. So change undergoes change means what? It makes no sense to me. So say use any other thing, or don't use, put a dash. But the moment you are caught, you want to defend yourself. This was the reason. And this shows the traits of ego, which the disciple does not have. I have thought over it, and I realize the incorrectness in my thinking. You understand? So here, this verse is actually showing us the traits of a true disciple actually. So we must. So he declares that he's been convinced regarding the existence of the soul, and firm conviction is the most essential, absolutely essential in your spiritual progress. You meeting your guru is not absolutely necessary. But your conviction that he is a true Sadguru, always taking care of you, is absolutely essential. So we focus on our association and activities, but what we need to focus is on a firm conviction. He is Atmagnani. He is Karunalu, Krupalu. He will always take care of me, whether he talks to me or he doesn't talk to me. He is always monitoring me. If you don't possess this conviction, hours of bhakti you do is all useless. Hours of bhakti. So what is more important is the conviction in this path, in the spiritual path. And that's what is shown here. Disciple has contemplated at length, like you all, for days. But quiz na karane, but for days, over the clarification, not how could I have defended myself, how could I have put forth my argument in this way where the Guru wouldn't be able to answer, not to check the Guru, not to consider the Guru's clarification incomplete, but he is contemplating over where he went wrong in his thinking and reasoning. So important. Because contemplation is very, very, very essential on this path. In the absence of contemplation of the Guru's teachings, there is no lasting impact. Very, very important. Lasting impact will not be there, how much ever you read or listen. But till it is not followed with contemplation, there is no lasting impact. If one contemplates over what he has been taught, it penetrates into your heart. I can give you an example. See, stone, pour some water over the stone. Stone will get wet. Right or wrong? But the water will flow away. It will be wet, the water is gone, so it will be dry soon. This is for people who listen but don't contemplate. Now pour this water on a piece of cloth, cloth being porous. It absorbs, the water percolates. So it becomes wet and the impact is also for a longer time. So now you decide, you want a long-lasting impact, everlasting as hoi joye, but long-lasting impact of the Guru's teachings, preachings. You need to contemplate, which exactly the disciple is saying, that I deeply contemplated, and now not only by listening, but after contemplation, I'm saying I'm convinced. That time, because if the orator is wonderful, you come into his spell. You start nodding your head. And then vote leva maave ke now who all believe in the existence of soul. So out in that impact, તમે હાથ ઊંચો કરી લો ને રૂમ પર જાઓ અને ત્યાં થાય કે પણ સાલો હજી બેસતું નથી આ. This is a bad habit. Don't declare before you have contemplated. Don't declare. Say, I'm thinking yet. Give me some more time. But once you declare that, yes, I have understood, I've taught many kids તો ના કહેવાય, હમણાં બધા રાહુલ છે, કોમલ રૂપાણી છે, I've taught them maths and economics for 16 hours a day. કોની એક્ઝામ્પલ રાહુલને જ પૂછી જો, કોમલને બી પૂછી જો, કોમલ છે. How many hours I must say? 6-7 hours તો I must have taught you. એને શું નહોતું આવડતું? જ્યોમેટ્રીમાં એ કે કાંઈ સમજાતું જ નથી, તો ટ્યુશન ટીચર રાખને. પણ હવે તે વખતે બધા બચ્ચાઓ હતા તો મેં ચાલો મારી પાસે એટલું સંસ્થાનું કામ નહોતું એટલું બધું તે વખતે વર્ષો કે વિચ યર મસ્ટ ઇટ બી યર સો મસ્ટ બી બિફોર 94 બિફોર 90 હા બિફોર 90 સો એટલું બધું સંસ્થાનું કામ નહીં તો મારી પાસે હતું તો આઈ કુડ નોટ સી ધેમ યુ નો ઇન અ પિટિએબલ સ્ટેટ કે અરે હું જ્યોમેટ્રીમાં ફેલ હતા અને રાહુલ કે સ્કૂલ બદલી તો એ મેથ્સમાં સારા માર્ક્સ નહીં હોય સ્કૂલ બદલી નાખે ફ્રોમ એક્ટિવિટી હાઈ સ્કૂલ યુ વેન્ટ ટુ દેટ હ્યુમન ટેમ્પલ સ્કૂલ માનવ મંદિર સો નોટ અ બેડ સ્કૂલ બટ સ્કૂલ So he changed his school also, but still મેથ્સમાં કંઈ સમજ નથી પડતી અને પછી આઈ થિંક એની પ્રિલિમ્સ કે કંઈક આવવાની હતી કે આઈ ડોન્ટ નો હા પ્રિલિમ્સમાં ફેલ થયેલો ને બોર્ડ્સમાં
આપે મને 16 hours in a day
હા
કરાવ્યું and I got 90% in boards.
અને ઇકોનોમિક્સમાં તો he stood first in his class
અને સાહેબ without copying.
without That is another story. આજકાલ મા બાપ બી બહુ છોકરાઓને એક્ઝામ વખતે હેલ્પ કરે એમ તમારે છોકરાઓને હેલ્પ કરવા જોઈએ યુ અન્ડરસ્ટેન્ડ ધ સાયકોલોજી ધ સ્ટ્રેસ એન્ડ યુ શુડ હેલ્પ ધેમ એવી મેં એક પેરેન્ટને સલાહ આપી કે યુ નો હેલ્પ ધેમ એન્ડ ધેન આઈ કમ ટુ નો કે એ લોકો ત્રણેય જણ કાપલીઓ બનાવવા બેસી ગયા ફાધર મધર અને કે ચલો આ ફર્સ્ટ ચેપ્ટરની કાપલીઓ હું બનાવું સેકન્ડ ચેપ્ટરની પપ્પા બનાવે પછી સરસ ફોલ્ડ કરીને કે બેટા હવે જ્યાં જ્યાં મૂકવાની હોય ત્યાં આવી સ્થિતિ સો મેં કીધું ચીટિંગ નહીં કર જે તને આવે અને બીજું એક વ્રત લે કે તું કોઈ ઇન્ફ્લુઅન્સથી જય હિન્દ કોલેજ જય હિન્દમાં તો હા કોઈ ઇન્ફ્લુઅન્સથી જય હિન્દ કોલેજમાં ન જાય ઇન્ફ્લુઅન્સ તો હતી બધી પણ તારા મેરિટ્સ ઉપર તું જાય તને જોઈએ એટલો ટાઈમ હું આપું ને તને ભણાવ સો તે વખતે કંઈક શુભ ભાવમાં એ હશે એટલે એને કીધું હા એ તો એવું ડિક્લાઇન આઉટરાઇટ કે જે બી મારું આઉટપુટ છે એ બધું કાપલીઓના કારણે જ છે બટ આને બનાવ્યો પણ મારો એક રૂલ હતો આઈ થિંક કોમલ મસ્ટ બી નોઈંગ મેં કીધું ટિલ યુ ડોન્ટ અન્ડરસ્ટેન્ડ આસ્ક મી આઈ એમ રેડી ટુ એક્સપ્લેન ઇટ 1000 times બટ વન્સ યુ સે આઈ અન્ડરસ્ટુડ એન્ડ પછી હું એક પ્રોબ્લેમ આપું અને પછી કે સર મને આવડતું નથી તો પછી આઈ કેન ગેટ એ મારી એક કન્ડિશન હતી અને એક બે વખત તે લોચા માર્યા બી હતા તે કે હવે એ ગભરાઈ ગઈ કે હવે હું ના પાડીશ કે હજી સમજાતું નથી આ વોટ વિલ હી થિંક ઓફ મી આઈ નો વોટ ટુ થિંક અબાઉટ મી યુ આર મિડ વે બિટવીન જડ એન્ડ ચેતન થર્ડ દ્રવ્ય સો વોટ આઈ ડોન્ટ માઇન્ડ પણ આજ એન્ડ આજ સો here the Shishya knows that his Guru is this way. So let me contemplate before I declare that I accept it or I am convinced. But no Shanka afterwards, once I declare. And as Swami Ramtid says, someone went to him and Mare, I want to make you my Guru. Okay, atli jaldi nahi karo. Check from different angles, different times of the day. Check my soul when I'm alone, check when I'm with people. And if you find any difference, so check me 1000 times, but once you surrender, then I don't want one doubt. Don't surrender, take your time. But just બીજા બધા કરે એટલે કરવા લાગે અને પછી આમ કેમ ને આમ કેમ એવી સ્ટુપિડ વાળાને તો એવી સ્ટુપિડિટી વાળાને તો હું અનવર્ધીમાં જ નાખીશ and I won't waste my time. શંકાવાળાને રાખીશ વર્ધિક માનીશ શંકાવાળા ગૌતમ ગણધર ગૌતમ કેવી શંકાને એ બી કેવા ઈગો સાથે આવ્યા હતા ભગવાન કે એટલીસ્ટ ઇઝ ટ્રુ એમ શંકા કરીને પછી વેરી સરેન્ડર ધેન સો હિયર ઇટ્સ રિગાર્ડિંગ ધી એક્ઝિસ્ટન્સ ઓફ ધ સોલ ઓનલી વન પોઈન્ટ we understood the deeper you contemplate, deeper is the, or more durable is your impact. That is very clear. That's what he has done. One word I want to say. Atmana astitva ape kaya paka antar kariye vichar. I contemplated, and now what? Sambhav teno thai che. See, the beautiful word is sambhav. Sambhav means possible. We know the Shishya is intelligent. Seeing his arguments, he is intelligent. He is eager to know the truth. How beautifully he frames everything and presents everything. So he is intelligent. He is a true seeker, maybe, and he is eager. He is humble also. He didn't say, bolo bolo, jawab apo. He said, samjhao sadupay. So he has that eagerness, he has that humility, he is sharp and intelligent. One more trait from this word sambhav, he is honest. He is honest. He could have over glorified this whole dialogue. I said, તમે તો ભગવાન છો, તમે તો બધું સિદ્ધ કરી નાખ્યું, and બધું flowery language he could have used. But he's an honest guy. So he says, my doubt is eliminated by your clarification, and now I do believe in the possibility of the existence of the soul. So why are you using the word possibility? You don't have faith? You are not convinced yet? Why are you using the word possibility? Say, I am convinced regarding the existence of the soul. Why are you using the word sambhav teno thai cha? Why the word possibility? So he says, by your clarification and by my thinking process, I am, listen to these two words, intellectually convinced, but yet not experienced the soul. I have not attained self-realization yet. But intellectually I am convinced. There are no doubts in my mind now. So he is being so honest that my conviction is an intellectual conviction after listening and contemplating over your clarifications and explanations. But I have not yet attained self-realization, so not by experience. But my doubt was also intellectual, my conviction is also intellectual, and now I go ahead with the second doubt. Something like this it had happened in the history, in the past. History as expounded in the Jain text. So if you are willing, we can hear it from some Atmarpits. It's regarding a dialogue between Keshi Swami and Raja, Pradeshi Raja. So exactly the way it happened in first fundamental truth. Do you want to hear?
Pujya Gurudev Ji said, over 2,600 years ago, before the times of our 24th Tirthankar, Lord Mahavir, this is the story that is expounded in the Rai Paseni Sutra.
In the Rai Paseni Sutra, one of the 45 great agams, there is a moving and enriching account of the meeting of an atheist king called King Pardeshi and Keshi Swami. Keshi Swami was a great Jain Acharya in the lineage of the 23rd Tirthankar, Lord Parshvanath.
And King Pardesi was a sworn and professed atheist, but he was a thinker, unbiased, open-minded, and honest.
So let us go back to those times when the enlightened and the revered Acharya Keshi Swami graced the earth. At the time, the kingdom of Shvetambika was ruled by the powerful atheist king Raja Pardeshi. He had a chief minister called Chitramantri, much favored by him.
Once, Chitramantri was on an official tour to the kingdom of Shravasti. At that time, the land of Shravasti was blessed with the presence of the great and revered Keshi Swami. Many flocked for his blessings and satsangs. Chitramantri too was curious and went to experience the discourse. On hearing the revered Keshi Swami, he recognized it as the voice of truth. He entrenched his faith by embracing the 12 vows of the Shravak. Chitramantri thought at that time of his beloved king. He had a deep yearning to draw him towards the true path as well. He invited the revered Keshi Swami to grace the land of Shvetambika so that the king too may be transformed by Keshi Swami's teachings.
As time passed by, Keshi Swami one day arrived in the land of Shvetambika. As soon as Chitramantri received the news of his arrival, he seized the opportunity. Chitramantri invited his atheist king Pardeshi to go horse riding and enjoy some sports at the very garden in which the revered Keshi Swami was blessing all with the divine discourse.
The king conceded, and as they arrived at the very sight of Keshi Swami, the king was enraged.
Expel this impostor! Remove him from my kingdom!
Cool as a cucumber, the minister said, King, why don't you challenge him to debate with you instead? He will be dumbfounded and silenced by your logical arguments, and then he himself will leave, shattered in shame.
That's a great idea. Let me go and challenge him to debate, and let's see how he replies. Look, Muni, there is nothing like the soul. So it is worthless to get into any religious rituals, chanting, austerities, etc. for its elevation. So stop misleading people on the wrong path and worthless path. I am not telling you that the soul does not exist without thinking. I have put in a lot of effort to find it. But I have not been able to see the soul in any place. That's why I have come to the conclusion that the soul does not exist. Let me tell you about some of my experiments. The soul and the body are not different, but they are one. Let me tell you why. My grandfather was also the king of the same place. I was his favorite grandson. He loved me a lot. He was non-religious and did not look after his kingdom well. According to your belief, he must have gone to hell. If that was true, then he would have come and cautioned me to save me from the suffering and miseries of hell. But he never came. And so, I feel that there's nothing like the soul which is different from the body.
Oh, Pardesi, you have a queen called Suryakanta. She is extremely beautiful. If any man commits adultery with her, how will you punish him?
I will cut that man's hand and his legs, and I will hang him till he's dead.
O king, if that lustful person begs to you to wait while he goes to his family and friends to tell them to refrain from such sinful conduct and save them from such misery, will you allow it?
It can never happen. That lustful person is a criminal. I will hang him to death without wasting a moment.
Yes, O king. Your grandfather is in the same condition. He is bound to the hellish state and suffering extreme miseries. How can he come and tell you something? If you do not spare a minute for a criminal to go within your own kingdom, how can your grandfather be spared for a while and come so far? Beings of hell are longing to come to our world here, but cannot come for 4 reasons. 1, severe pain, because of which they're always in a state of agony. 2, the protectors of hell do not leave them for a moment from that bondage. 3, till he has not exhausted all his karmas of hell, he cannot go elsewhere. 4, even if he wants to end his life, he cannot. This way, the soul is suffering severe miseries. The soul who has gone to hell is bound, dependent, and does not have the necessary power to come here. Thus, it is not because there is no hell that there is no independent substance as the soul that your grandfather is not returning.
There is nothing like the independent soul. I can give you one more example. My grandmother was knowing self and non-self. She used to follow restraints and a lot of austerities. When she died, according to you, she must have gone to the celestial abode. Now, I was her favorite grandson. She used to become emotional just looking at me. If she went to the celestial abode after dying, she would have come from there and told me, "Oh, grandson, you too become as religious as me, so that you can attain the pleasures of the celestial abode just like me." But she has not come so far. So I do believe in the celestial abode. And so I'm sure that the soul and body, I do not believe in the celestial abode. And so I'm sure that the soul and the body are different.
O king, let's assume that you are readying yourself for a visit to the temple. You take a bath, you wear new clothes, and have held all necessary items of worship with you. Now, just as you're about to reach the temple, a person sitting in the toilet comes to you and invites you to sit, lie down, and with him in the toilet. Will you?
Never. How can I go to such a dirty place?
O king, in the same way, your grandmother is totally engrossed in heavenly pleasures. The celestial souls who want to come to the world of mortals cannot come because of 4 reasons. 1, they are so engrossed in the heavenly pleasures and activities, they have no interest in human pleasures at all. 2, the celestial being is cut off from human relationships and is engrossed in their new relationships with other celestial beings. 3, the heavenly beings with long lifespans, busy in sensual pleasures, keep thinking, I'm just going. And by then, all his human relatives who have a shorter lifespan are already dead. 4, celestial beings cannot tolerate the smell of the mortal world and thus do not wish to come here. From all these things, you must understand that your grandmother is not able to come here. But that does not prove that there is no heaven and that there is no independent substance like the soul. Do not say that there is no rebirth and there is no soul. The soul and the body are different. At the time of death, the body remains here and the soul goes into the other state of being and endures the fruition of his meritorious and sinful karmas.
The soul and the body are not different. I can give you another proof. Listen to this incident. One day, a guard came to the court with a thief. I had the thief locked in an iron box. I closed it and put a strong cover on it with guards around. Next day, we opened the box. We found only the dead body of the thief. If the soul and the body were different, his soul should have been there in the box as well. If the soul had gone out of the box, it would have been broken, or there should have been a hole in the box. If there was a single hole there, I would have accepted that the soul exists. Additionally, no guard saw the soul leaving, so I am determined that the soul does not exist independently. The soul and the body are one.
You cannot say that there is no existence of the soul because the thief died and there was no hole in the box. All the substances in the world are not of the same nature. Every substance is of a different nature. Some can move without any hole, path, or door. The way light rays pass through a glass and still there is no hole in the glass. Let me give you one more example. If there is an enclosed room where even the air cannot enter, if a man sitting in that room plays a drum, will you be able to hear the sound of the drum?
Yes, that sound of the drum will definitely come out from the room.
O king, the way sound can come out of the room, which does not have any holes, in the same way, the soul can come out from the box without any holes. This shows that solid objects can pass through other solid objects, but non-solid objects can in fact pass through solid objects. The soul's substance is not at all a solid object. Thus, it can move through spaces without doors or holes. What is so surprising in it? The soul is forever formless and thus has the power of unobstructed movement. It can penetrate through metal, stone, wall, or mountains. So even if it is locked, it can still go out.
I still have one more proof that the soul and the body are not different. One day, a guard brought a thief to me. I hit him and locked him up in an iron box. I put a strong lid, then sealed it, and kept it under strict watch. After a few days, when we opened the box, the dead body of the thief had decomposed with thousands of worms. How did these worms enter the box? There was no space from where they could have come in. So I decided that these worms must be born from the body itself, because the body and the soul are one. If the body and the soul were different, how could so many worms enter the locked box?
Have you ever seen a hot iron ball? Have you ever heated iron?
Yes, I have seen a hot iron ball, and I have heated iron myself.
Okay. There is no hole in the iron ball, but when you heat it, the entire ball becomes extremely hot, isn't it? Does heat enter the solid iron or not? Does heated iron become red?
Yes.
Yes.
Even if there's no hole in the iron ball, heat can enter it. When heat enters the iron ball from all sides, the iron becomes red.
Just as heat enters the solid iron, the formless soul can enter anywhere. You saw thousands of worms in the dead body of the thief. All those souls entered from outside and they were produced as worms. That's why you should believe that the body and the soul are different. They are not one.
Let me tell you another instance. Once, I weighed a thief who had a capital punishment just before his death. Then, we killed him by suffocating him and weighed him again. The weight of the living thief and that of his dead body were the same. If the soul and the body are different, the thief's weight should reduce, isn't it? So I decided that there's nothing like the soul. The soul and the body are one.
Oh, King, have you ever filled air in a leather bag? If you weigh the empty bag and the same bag filled with air, do they have a difference in their weight?
No, there is no difference.
Then can you say that both of them are just the same? Can you say that the inflated bag actually has no air in it? No. In the same way, a living body and a dead body have the same weight. It does not mean that the soul doesn't exist. Since the weight of the air is so insignificant, it is hardly considered. Thus also, the soul is formless and does not have any weight. It is neither heavy nor light. Weight is an attribute of matter. It is included in the property of touch. There are 8 types of touch: cold, hot, smooth, rough, soft, hard, light, heavy. All these 8 properties of touch are present in matter. For knowing that, you need the sense of touch. Except for matter, no other substance has the attribute of touch, and thus does not have any weight. The soul and matter are exactly opposite substances. Matter is an inert substance, and the soul is a conscious, knowing substance. Matter has form, and the soul is formless. So the soul does not have touch, and there is no weight. When you cannot touch something, or when you cannot hold it, till then, you cannot weigh it. The conscious soul, which is formless, which is completely different from matter, how can you weigh it? The soul has no weight, and so the living body and the dead body have the same weight.
In order to find the soul, once I had a body of a dead thief cut up into multiple small pieces. But I could not see the soul in even one of those pieces. This proves that the soul is not present in the body. There is no substance like the soul. Thus, my belief that the soul and the body are not separate was strengthened.
Cutting the body into small pieces and examining it is no way to find the soul. This is like the action of the foolish woodcutter. Let me tell you a story. Once some woodcutters went to the jungle to cut wood. They asked one of them to sit at a particular place and prepare a meal from Arni wood. It is a type of wood of the shami tree used to kindle fire by rubbing two pieces together. Thereafter, the woodcutter, to obtain fire, cut the Arni wood to pieces, but he could not find any fire. When the rest of the woodcutters returned and saw this man cutting up Arni wood, trying to find fire, they had a hearty laugh. Then they rubbed two pieces of the Arni wood vigorously, kindled a fire, and prepared their meals. O king, that there is fire in Arni wood is a well-established fact. But even if the wood is broken up into small pieces, one cannot see the fire. It is in a very subtle form in the Arni wood. It won't even be possible if you turn it to dust. When even substances have a form, substances that have a form cannot be seen in this way, then how can the formless soul be seen by the naked eye by applying such methods? Similarly, concluding that there is no soul because you cannot see it in the pieces of the body would be improper. Just as you can see fire by rubbing two pieces of wood vigorously, by employing more subtle means, it can be ascertained that the soul does exist.
O Muni, is there any way to be certain of the existence of soul?
Okay.
How can you prove that there is a soul in the body?
Tell me, O king, why do the leaves in the tree move?
Because of air?
How big is the air? And what is its color?
Air. Air cannot be seen, so how can I say that?
Air cannot be seen. So how did you know it is air?
The leaves move on that basis.
Yes. Similarly, because of the various actions of the body, like movement, we can know that there is a soul in the body. It is the internal substance that animates it.
O Muni, truly, your logical arguments have in fact made me rethink and question my old beliefs. It does in fact seem possible that there is a soul that exists as a separate entity from the body. I thank you for guiding me.
With this new possibility, the disposition of Pardeshi Raja changed entirely. He had a new conviction in his life and he spent his days in contemplation for a lasting impact penetrating into his heart. His life was transformed and his days were spent in penance and austerity. In the last few days of his life, someone poisoned him. And he knew who poisoned him, but died in an equanimous state to be born as a celestial being with the name of Suryapadev. From there, he will be reborn as a human being in Mahavidesh Kshetra, becoming a monkhood, and finally attaining liberation.